most important thing anybody can do in any of this. Realize that if this truly is a quest for truth and a quest for freedom, then you need to be careful what you believe along the way. And you need to maintain an open mind and always look at things objectively and be open to everything. You've got to be prepared to consider everything, but believe nothing. Belief is the enemy of knowledge, and if you adopt a belief system, it's going to affect all the information that comes after that point. You're going to bring it all into your belief system, and you're going to judge it accordingly, rather than being open-minded and letting the threads lead you where they may. I mean, I'm absolutely open to everything, folks, any possibility. I certainly don't believe anything that I'm told by academia, not anymore. I mean, I've lived too long to believe what I was taught in school. I've lived too long to believe what I read in history books simply because of the stuff that I've seen when I've travelled around the world. And new discoveries are made all the time, and many of these discoveries just don't make the academic world. They don't want to change the textbooks, it would seem. Things like petrification, fossils that we find around the place, these are all presumed to be millions of years old. And yet there's new evidence that fossils are actually formed quite quickly. There was a recent discovery I read somewhere. I'll see if I can dig up the information and get back to you later, but I read somewhere, you might find it yourself if you do a search, that there was a foot or a shoe print that had been found in a rock, and the manufacturer recognized the shoe print, something like that. As I said, I'm a little bit vague on it, but I'll try to get the information for you. But the thing is that there was this fossilized shoe print, and the shoe was actually made in 1929, and there it was, a fossilized print of this shoe. So fossils can be formed very quickly. And yet still, when we go to science sites or archaeological websites, they'll tell you fossils take millions of years to form, and such is simply not the case. So new information is being discovered and uncovered all the time. And this is certainly the case in regard to our history, ladies and gentlemen. In regard to our history, in regard to monuments and relics and just stuff from the past lying all over the earth. New things are being uncovered all the time, and they're serving to build quite a compelling image of our past.
The few have controlled the many because the many give the power to the few. This is the opportunity to end that dynamic forever, or at least for a long time, until the people in the future forget, and say, look, this is how humans have been controlled all the way through. Let's stop doing what's allowed the control all the way through, and we might get a different outcome. Stop acquiescing and you'll get your freedom back. Keep acquiescing and it will go on being taken away until even the last vestiges of it are no longer visible. It's so simple. But people say to you, they say, what do we do? What's the solution? And it's not the case in every case, no it's not, but in vast number of cases, what they're saying to you is, how is someone else going to get us out of this? Not, how am I going to get myself out of this? How are we going to get ourselves out of it? How is someone else going to do it? So I look at Trump in America, and I look at the Trump supporters, and basically the Trump supporters are overwhelmingly the great majority of the pushbackers in America. And I've got respect for the fact that they do that. But they're still looking at an individual, and they're saying, if Trump gets back in, then everything will change. Well, it didn't change first time, did it? Instead of saying, never mind Trump, he's just one bloke. What are we going to do now? Not if Trump gets back, now. What are we going to do? How do we sort this out? What is the cause of the problem? Acquiescence, right? We stop.
The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. It's really not important what the majority of people that are blogging are saying. As a matter of fact, bloggers are not relevant people, they're not shakers and movers, and they're not decision makers, and they're not power brokers. So when you spend so much time in the blog world, the Instagram world, the chat world, all of this, you're wasting valuable time. If I was young and I had what you have, and you're the brightest group of young people that have come along in a long time, man. Millennials are absolutely brilliant because you all have technology. I had no technology growing up, nothing. You couldn't download a book. You had to go to the library, go to the card catalog, pull it open, find the book, find the number, go get on the elevator, go to the row, find the number book, get the book, and hope somebody ain't told a page out that you want to read.
What you're facing may seem bigger, stronger, more powerful, but deep down, don't be intimidated. You've got to know you cannot be defeated. The Creator of the universe has put His favor on your life. You too may have had a rough past. Maybe you've had some bad breaks. The good news is, it's not over. God is not finished. God always ends in all is well. If all is not well, it simply means it is not the end. You haven't seen what God is about to do. God is about to take what's meant for your harm and use it to your advantage. God is about to pay you back for the unfair things that have happened. Psalm 44 says it this way: they did not get the land in their own strength or by their own sword, but because you favored them. You may be up against a big challenge today. You've done everything you can in your own strength, in your own ability, and that's important. But let me encourage you, when you come to the end of your ability, when you don't see a way, when all the odds are against you, don't get discouraged. Don't let the negative thoughts keep playing in your mind. Just keep thanking God for His favor. And God will do for you what He did for these people. What you couldn't make happen on your own. What you couldn't fix in your own ability, because of the favor of God, He will make it happen for you. What am I saying? God knows how to solve your problems. God knows how to change people's minds. God knows how to restore your health. He's the one that made your body. It may look like that financial situation is never going to turn around, but one touch of God's favor can put you into overflow. You'll have more than enough. God is not limited by what you're facing. He's limited by what you're believing. When you believe, all things are possible. When you go through the day saying, Lord, thank you for your favor, that's when God can do things for you that you could never do on your own. Psalm 44, same scripture in the Message translation says, we didn't have to work for the land. You freely gave it to us.
It's not like there aren't days I don't want to go to the gym. The truth is, most of the days I don't want to go to the gym. But I do, even though I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking tornado, if there's a snowstorm, if there's a hurricane, if the fucking world is on fire. The job has to get done. It's about executing regardless of your emotions. All right. And that's a well-covered topic. I talk about it a lot. All right. But what almost no one talks about is starting to love the days you have to execute. that you have to perform, that you have to get the job done, especially when you don't feel like it. That's what I call test days, and that's what I want to cover with you guys. These test days, guys, these are the days that test your qualities. They test your characters. They test who you think you are. They test your fortitude. They test your endurance, your discipline, your grit, your dedication, your determination, your mental toughness. Your character is in question on these days. You are testing your ability to do something. And that something is something significant to your dreams. It's something critical to your goals. At the very moment when everything in you wants to do absolutely nothing. When you'd rather sit on the couch and eat fucking Cheetos than go to the gym. When you'd rather die than send another email or take another phone call or talk to another human. It's an opportunity to prove that you're a winner. It's an opportunity to prove you are what you say you are in your head when you look in the mirror. When you look in the mirror and you say, there goes a bad motherfucker, you actually believe it. That's the importance of passing these tests. Successful people love the experience of not feeling like doing shit, but then going and kicking ass anyway. They understand that those are the real victories in life. They understand that it's easy to do shit when you feel like doing shit, but they also understand that the real magic, but your mind tells you, fuck you, I'm gonna do this shit anyway, and does it. That's where people separate themselves from the pack. That's where people earn the right to success. They earn the money. They earn the life. They earn the relationship. They earn the body in those little moments